Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just want to show you today what we recently got at the library. It was our first library trip since the baby has come, and I really thought that it wasn't going to go that well as far as checking out books for myself, but we ended up being okay. I had to recheck out a lot of books, but I did manage to find something to check out for myself. And we still had fun. It was definitely a shorter trip, closer to an hour versus 2 hours that we usually spend there. But, you know, it was okay. And my husband was with me, and he actually checked out some books too, which was interesting. I keep looking over here. For some reason, I thought my camera was over here, and it's over here. So I apologize for that. I'm already screwing this video up. Anyway, so I just want to show you what we got. Most of it is not stuff for myself. Just trying to be realistic, even though it was so tempting. I did get one thing for myself, and then rechecked out a lot of books that I didn't get to last month because, you know, of babies. As usual, I'm just going to start out with the kids stuff that we got and just go through that really quickly. And I always say really quickly, but my videos are kind of slow, actually, I've noticed. Anyway, so my 6-year-old, this is my 6-year-old's pile that we're starting here, and she checked out Junie B. First Grader by Barbara Park, and it's Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, P.S. So Does May. And again, we love Junie B. books. I think we've read them all, to be honest, and now we're just rereading them all. So that's completely fine. She also checked out a book to read by herself, or to try to read by herself, and that's Pinkalicious Puptastic by Victoria Carr, and I can read step 1 book, or level 1. Then she also got Goldilocks and Other Fairy Tales by, I don't know. Maybe it's just by a publisher, not a specific author. And we also got Amelia Bedelia, Cleans Up by Herman Parrish. And we love Amelia Bedelia books. We've just started getting into these, and it seems like a natural progression to go from things like Junie B. to Amelia Bedelia. And both my 9-year-old and my 6-year-old have seemed to enjoy Amelia Bedelia quite a bit. And she's fun, although I think I like Junie B. better just because of her attitude. And then she got another step into reading book, a Barbie one, A Horse Rides by Man Kong. I don't know. And then I picked this one for her, my G book, which is another easy reader, like first reader type books, since she's just now starting to get ready for those. And this is by Jane Belk Moncure. And then lastly, she picked out 10 Tiny Fairies, a fairy tale counting book by Bentley and Cahoon. So, yeah. That's the math book in the pile, I guess. I don't know. Those are the books that she picked out for herself. So for my 9-year-old, surprise, surprise, she picked out all Goosebumps books for herself. So I'm just going to go through these really fast and try to keep a baby happy at the same time. She got Monster Blood 3 by R.L. Stine. And all of these are by R.L. Stine, all the Goosebumps. So I'm just going to name them. Ghost Camp. Deep Trouble. A shark. Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare. So it's one of those where you choose how your ending is going to go. Beware the Purple Peanut Butter. Bad Hair Day. I think I remember reading that one when I was younger. I actually think I read that. Oh. The Haunted School. Calling All Creeps, which those look like a bunch of velociraptors. And Be Careful, oh, this is awkward. Be Careful What You Wish For. And then one I picked out for her because I like to try to pick out one book for her that isn't Goosebumps, just to try to get her to try a few new things, just something new, a new flavor. So I picked out This Totally Bites by Ruth Ames. And it says a poison apple book, and I don't even know what it's about. Let's see. It's about a girl that uncovers a dark family secret, and it just looks creepy and like her style of book that she would like. So that's why I picked it out, just to get her to try something else. And then also for the kids, the one that I picked out for both of them that we would read together is an ancient Greek civilization book, and that's just to go along with what we're studying in homeschool right now. So yeah, I picked that out for them, but I actually have it in my school book pile, which is why I can't hold it up right now. But okay, and then as far as what my husband picked out, let's start with his pile. He was a little ambitious. He doesn't go to the library usually, and then so he went this time and got a little ambitious, I think, with his pile, because he has way less time to read than I do, and he's even like a slower reader than me. I don't know if he's going to get these done or not. He'll probably have to recheck them out. But the first thing he got is Plutarch Deluxe Edition, and it doesn't have an author or anything, and he said he's not going to read that front to back. It's just going to be more of a flip through kind of thing. And then he also got The Celtic Empire, the first millennium of Celtic history, 1000 BC to 51 AD, by Peter Bursford Ellis. And yeah, so he picked some pretty dense books for himself. Admittedly, I don't know anything about the pre-Christian, pre-Viking Celts, so I'm curious to see what kind of knowledge I'm going to glean from him, because I'm not going to read this, but see what he learns and then have him tell me the interesting bits. And then the last book that he picked for himself is City of Light, City of Poison, Murder, Magic, and the First Police Chief of Paris by Holly Tucker. And I think he said this is a nonfiction book. That would make the most sense. So like a nonfiction history book about just, I guess, different crimes in Paris. And then the last book that he's going to read, it's an audiobook, so I guess you listen to it and that counts as reading, is Animal Farm by George Orwell. He didn't pick this out. I picked this out for him because he has long commutes and he usually listens to podcasts, but I told him he should try audiobooks. And he has never read that book, and I told him that I really thought that he would enjoy it. And it's one of those I think you should read, because it's sort of, disturbing and interesting, and yeah, I think he'll really enjoy it. And then for myself, I rechecked out a lot of books that I didn't get to, and I'll just go through those really quickly because I just talked about them in a end of year TBR, which, by the way, isn't going well, as I suspected, but it's good to have goals. So what I rechecked out is Horns by Joe Hill, The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, and Orange is the New Black by Piper Kerman. Yes. And then some things that I found to add to that pile that I have not yet even finished, or barely even scratched into the surface of that pile. I checked out Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I'm actually the first person to check this out, which makes me super nervous because that means I have to try to not damage it at all, or else they'll know exactly who it was that added any scuff marks or watermarks or anything. But I grabbed this. Again, it's one of those I recognized from BookTube. And then once I read the back of it, I thought it sounded pretty interesting. But it's about a girl who can't leave her house because she is allergic to everything. and then like a wrench kind of gets thrown into her life because this mysteriously good-looking neighbor moves in and changes everything, I guess, about the way she lives her life. So yeah, pretty excited about this. It sounds really good. I had never looked into the synopsis before, even though I've seen it on BookTube many, many times. And then I grabbed this. It's Behaving as If the God in All Mattered by Michelle Small Wright. And, you know, I don't really know what it's about, except it was in the spiritual section, and I thought that that was an interesting place for it to be. And because it's obviously about, I guess, all the creatures of the earth, I assume, and that it's in the spiritual section, that just kind of intrigued me, and I want to know what it's about. It's obviously like a ecologically spiritual book. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what it's about. We'll see if I get to it before the books are due back again. And then I picked up The Last Girls of Pompeii by Catherine Lasky. This is a historical fiction about two girls who lived in Pompeii, I guess before and during the volcano erupted there. And I picked this up because in my mind I got it confused with Greece, and then I realized once I brought this home that this actually goes with ancient Rome, which we'll be studying after we're done with ancient Greece. So I picked this up to be like an extra read aloud for homeschool. But I'll probably have to recheck it out because I don't think we're going to get done with Greece in time. And I want to read this with Rome and not get the two periods confused. But it sounded really interesting and something both myself and the kids would really enjoy. And then lastly, I got The Beautiful Stories of Life, 6 Greek Myths Retold by Cynthia Rylant and narrated by Alyssa Breschanen. I have not listened to any of this yet, but because we are studying ancient Greece, this will be perfect for homeschool right now, and we can listen to these in the car or in the living room, you know, instead of watching TV. And, you know, it's winter, it's hard to play outside, and this was just like a gold star find for me. Anything to try to make ancient history interesting for a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. The 9-year-old is definitely more interested than the 6-year-old. She is like, more like, why does any of this matter? Can we read about fairies and unicorns now? But, so I'm going to try to make things a little bit more interesting, and hopefully that helps. But yeah, that was our big library haul post-baby. So our big December post-baby library haul, which was much bigger than I thought it was going to be. And it wasn't as bad. I didn't think it was going to be bad. I thought things weren't going to go as well as far as going to the library and just doing all of our regular stuff. I didn't know what that would look like, and I'm sure it will continue to change. But our first library trip after the baby came was great. It was fine and didn't change yet as much as I thought it would. And sorry for poking you guys with a big baby head, but she's ready to be held now, and I'm done showing them all the books, and you don't even care because you can't read. But she listens. I'm sure she's listening while I'm reading to her big sisters. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you have any thoughts about any of the books I checked out, you know, please, you know, comment below and let me know. And I will see you all again very soon, I hope.